Okay, so before we get started, just go through a couple housekeeping items. Throughout the presentation, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to use the chat functionality to ask away. We'll be monitoring it. If we don't answer the question right away, it's because we'll answer it at a time where it's applicable to the question. But we'll also have a dedicated Q&A area at the end of the webinar so that we can get into more of the details that may come up for yourself throughout the talk today. So it's now 2:01. I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Zane Westmoreland. I'm a co-founder at a company called Acadiate, and we've been around since 2010, working within academia around things like helping individuals showcase themselves, among other things. But what we've really found has really come to the forefront as the pandemic has hit is the need for a lot of schools and a lot of programs to figure out how to move events and things that used to happen offline into the virtual world. So things like poster sessions are such an important part of the fabric of higher education as a way for people to share their work. And a lot of individuals are asking themselves, how do we recreate this this communication vehicle between peers, between academics. And we've actually seen that our platform has been a very effective way for individuals to achieve the ability to bring their posters online in an effective and interactive way. And today's webinar will walk you through how we're doing this, how easy it is to do, and it should inspire a lot of thoughts. It should also inspire different approaches that you could take at your own school if you do want to bring poster sessions online. With me on today's talk is my colleague, David Murdoch.
Good afternoon.
So I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in. So the agenda, I'm going to give you a quick introduction on who we are, where we've come from, and then we're going to dive straight into a live demo. We find one of the best ways to help people visualize what a poster session online could look like is to have you actually see a live example. We will then talk about how easy it is to implement, the benefits of virtual poster sessions for the three major attendees or stakeholders in these events, Q&A, and then also some information on access. So as a company, as I mentioned, we've been around since 2010, and our fundamental mission is helping individuals showcase themselves in the digital world. We started out from more of a career development angle in helping individual students, professors, professionals better articulate their value for employers and recruiters. And but what we found over the last several years is increasingly academics and students are using it in the educational context for sharing their work with one another. And our approach to helping students showcase themselves actually lends itself really well for that, as you'll see in the demo today. So over the years, we work with programs, we work with schools, we work with career development individuals, we work in classrooms, and now we're also working in many event-related partnerships with various schools throughout North America. So now I'm going to dive straight into this live demo to show you what the experience of a virtual poster session can look like on Acadiate. Okay, so what you're seeing here is where the virtual poster sessions are taking place. You can see we've got our logo at the top. This would be the school's logo, the school's name. This would be your location, any link that you'd like to link individuals to. And then we can see these are all the different posters that are available. And what's really unique about this approach is that the way we've seen poster sessions done many times requires a lot of administrative handling, meaning individuals are kind of putting together websites, they're collecting posters from many different individuals, and they're having to centrally coordinate that. One of the perks of using Acadiate is you can actually delegate the creation of these posters to your poster creators. So you actually give your students or faculty accounts, and they're able to create their posters in any way they'd like. So for example, here, I'm going to dive into one so you can actually see what it looks like when it opens up. And we found this process to be very helpful and very easy for individuals, even if they're not familiar with technology, because they're not asked to create a website or do anything like that. They just create an account, and then they create, we call one of these a showcase, and they load up their poster in it. So they just upload the PDF of the poster file they'd use anyways. And then they have the option of also accessorizing that with many other things, whether it's social links, they can link to things like ResearchGate, their Twitter, Facebook, their own websites. They also have the ability to also include accessory information, so things like journals, they can include media, they can include references of the various authors. So there's a lot of room for growth and for expansion on the poster that usually isn't available in your physical poster presentations.
Right. And if you're going to be organizing a poster session, one of the things that we walk the organizers through is how they want to standardize the layout of each of these posters and how much you want to encourage each of the poster authors to supplement their poster with ancillary material. It could be background material, previous research. It can be, connections, as you can see here, to ResearchGate, showing the threads of the research of the authors. It can be Twitter accounts, it can be Facebook accounts, and so on. It's the beauty is you can really go beyond just the poster. You can just have it set up as just the poster in a very limited manner, or you can really supplement it to drive a deeper discussion, a deeper exploration into the background of the poster and really enrich it for the attendees.
The other thing that was really great about this approach to posters is we do integrate this ability for live interaction with the poster creators and the audience. So you can see here that the poster creators have the ability to add live meetings in with their posters. And the way this actually works in execution is what a poster fair would happen is they would tell all the poster creators that the fair is going to be between, let's say, 1 and 3 o'clock or 1 and 4 o'clock on a Thursday. And that is when they're going to be driving the audience into a private link, and they have the ability then to add their own meeting link there so that individuals can jump in and actually talk to them live about their poster, and they can have that conversation, which is a piece that's usually left out in online poster sessions, is this ability to connect and have one-on-one live interaction with the audience and with the poster creator.
Right, because this is one of the intriguing parts about poster sessions is as yes, it's a venue for the researcher to present their research to be consumed by an attendee, but you can also enable the attendee to engage with the author of the poster in a live session in a very efficient manner. Now, depending on the volume and the way you set up the structure of the event, let's say you pack it into a 2-hour or a 3-hour afternoon, or you spread it over time, and depending on the volume coming through, we've seen some schools where they pair up students into Zoom groups, let's say 4 or 5 of these, so that if there's not going to be a huge volume of people going into each of these posters, it allows for the students to also listen in onto the conversations and questions asked of other poster authors. We have actually a fair degree of experience with this in virtual events, so we can kind of give you some advice on some of the options for you. But it's where you can really take the event to a higher level is that human contact and engagement and the interaction with the students. Other schools have set it up where they have the poster sessions. They drive the attendees into a certain window, and then at the end of that window, they have a bigger group, like a coffee hour or meeting group, where the attendees can pile into certain Zoom windows, Zoom meetings, and have a Discord about any level of discussion. So anyway, we have a fair degree of experience with that. And we always encourage you to infuse that human element into these events. It really enhances the experience for everyone.
Yeah, and to add on to Dave's point, one of the other approaches that we take is we are technology independent or agnostic of whatever meeting software the creators want to create. So if an individual is comfortable with Zoom, they can use Zoom, they can use Microsoft Teams, they can use Google Meet, they can use WebEx. It's really up to them what they want to use. And we found that by allowing the poster creator to choose their meeting software of choice, it actually leads to far less technical issues, and they have far greater comfort in running these online meetings and interactions with the audience. So there's a lot of really cool benefits to that. The other thing that's really great about this is you can have any number of individuals within here, but as you can see, you can also tag individuals, whether it's by authors. As an organizer, you can direct your poster creators in how to tag their poster. So whether it's by department, it's by subject matter, it could be by author, it could be by year, or by even assigning numbers. Those are things that you can choose. And we've got a really powerful search at the top here. So it makes it easy to find anything that they're looking for instantly, to be able to pull that out. Or if they want to filter down just with the individuals that have meetings that are live that they can go into. So the other interesting thing here is you can see there's other approaches that individuals can choose. You can choose the approach to share your poster as the front, but you could also choose to put a picture of your team or the team of the authors behind the poster, and individuals can do it in that way as well. So there's a lot of flexibility that you can leverage when creating these sessions.
Right, and just a little bit odd, we've actually have a number of schools who are spreading these over a longer period of time, over, let's say, 3 weeks, not just like an afternoon, but 3 weeks. And so the beauty of the platform is, yes, you can have live sessions, but you can also, for those longer periods, you can use the contact me button that's in each of these showcases, which allows you to email the authors and engage them that way. We're also introducing in the next 2 weeks a comment section, so that you can actually comment within each of the showcases on the material and capture the thread of the discussions with each of the posters and collect that over time, so that there's feedback to the attendees, but also to the authors of the chat. So you can record those and get that feedback, because that's one of the essence of poster sessions, is that feedback and that scientific discord that you get from publishing your research and getting feedback on it.
So a couple of questions just here, asking if the recording of the session will be available. It will be available after, and we'll send out an email to all the registrants with a copy of this.
Right. And I should also mention that we're working with a number of schools and organizers who are organizing this as part of a larger symposium or grouping. So the beauty of poster sessions off of Acadiat is that they can be weaved into larger symposiums or into larger events where you can have poster sessions, but also speakers, research, networking zones, and so on. We've done other webinars on this with larger associations. We actually have quite a few this fall with upwards of 60,000 students in it, and hundreds of speakers. So they can become very sophisticated, and poster sessions is actually one of the key components, but we're just focused on poster sessions for this event.
Yep. So now that we've kind of shown you the end product, a lot of individuals think this would be complicated or difficult to execute. And what we found is actually it's very, very simple for individuals to do this. We regularly have individuals in classrooms of over 500, 600 students go through this for in-class assignments. So it's actually very easy to have creators and poster creators utilize the software to create this. And I'm going to show you firsthand of exactly what this looks like here. So you can see this is what students see. It's an account, their back end. And you can see here, I have a poster sample here, and I'm just going to walk you through how easy this is. But the reason you see so many different ones here is because the platform also allows people to create a bunch of different showcases for different purposes. So while they can use it to create a poster, they could also use it to create a bio for themselves. They can use it for a job application. So it's very versatile in that way, that it's not just built around the poster. It can be utilized by them in several other ways. And we've seen there's a lot of benefits to this in enabling and engaging students and faculty to put more effort into creating better posters. So to get started, I'm going to just show you how a poster sample would be created. So what you're seeing here is a showcase builder. And the showcase builder is broken down into very simple steps. You just give it a name. You can say who it's created for if you'd like. You have your targeted message, so it can just be, you know, this is sample poster, tagline. You could have a description of your poster. You can have the relevant tags that you want in it. You can put a message that you'd like to show others. You choose a photo that you can have. You choose a background. And then you also can choose the name of your poster. So the poster may be a look into the effects of talent marketing on students in 2020. And then you can see you also have the option here to enable a live meeting link if you'd like. And this is where if individuals want to include their Zoom and availability, they can easily just post their link in here and post their availability. For now, I'm going to keep that off, and I'm just going to save this, and you'll see how quick and easy it is to work with these posters. So there's one thing, so I'll just go ahead and we'll view this showcase here. And you can see here is the poster, and it's really that quick and easy to put together. So there's no website creation. You just basically fill in the blanks here, and you're able to accessorize this poster in any way you want. Now that you've seen kind of a big picture there, you can also choose more than the poster. So there's this contents area. And when we click choose, we can accessorize this the showcase or this poster with any array of different elements that we want to. So what you're seeing here is all the different files I've uploaded to my account. And if I want to include it in there, say I want to include a website, a Twitter, LinkedIn, and maybe even a Facebook, I would just check mark those ones. If I want to attach some media examples, a welcome video, I can do that as well. And it's really that easy. If the item that I want isn't uploaded already, I just click add an item and I'm able to easily upload that. And that's really all there is to managing this. So we found that this approach makes it very easy, even for individuals that are not very technically inclined. We're regularly used by cohorts like in nursing and in medicine, or in some of the arts where technology isn't their core skill set, but they're able to still drive this effectively. And we found that that's really important as you bring poster sessions online, is to ensure that the workflow is very easy. So
Right. There's one question that, do we provide templates for making the poster within the platform? So there's a lot of software out there for actually creating the poster. What you do is you burn it to PDF and then upload it as a complete document. Some students actually create it in PowerPoint, and then they just burn it to PDF and then load it in. That way, you have a very stable product, especially in how it renders to the user when they open up the showcase and open up the poster session. So that's a separate step.
Yeah, right. And the other thing we would want to mention is now that we've kind of shown you how to create it, the poster creator has several benefits to this. So they can actually now use this. They have a live link that they can use, and they can share this with anyone they want online to get feedback. But the question is, how do you get it into this session cluster? Right? And each one of these has a unique share code. And all you would do is share that code with your attendees or your creators, and they would click have a showcase share code. And then what we would do is just paste the share code in here. You click find, and then you see there's a poster session cluster. I click share now, and it's been successfully shared, and it will automatically show up in this grouping. So it's really that easy to get these clusters in. So you can see this is the one I just created. It just showed up here. And this is how this can really become very easy for you to manage as a school or as an organizer in getting individuals to not only create, but to share in here. And the other thing that's great is once it's in here, it's live linked. So all the updates, changes, improvements I make will also be captured within the poster session here as well.
Right. So the beauty of this architecture is that it's really easy for organizers to organize this. They can push the creation of the content down to the individual users. So the amount of work and effort by the organizers is actually pretty low. They're just focused on organizing the event, not getting the content into it. Now, they can get accounts where they do this centralized, but that's one of the advantages of our approach is that you can, if you have 800 or 900 posters, it's easily managed in the platform, and you just get the individual students to be uploading this. What some schools are actually doing is they have multiple over time poster events, and they just weave them together. So this almost becomes a repository of research over the long term that's accessible by the school. There's a number of teaching and learning centers that use this as, for faculty development and keeping all this research that's easily accessible by their faculty, and it builds like Lego blocks over time. So
Yeah. So we got one question just saying, can we copy a website screenshot to post as a poster? Yes, you can. So as a poster, we support, it can be PDF, it can be images, whatever your students want to upload. It's up to them how they want to fill out their showcase to demonstrate that. So I'm going to dive in now. Quickly into some of the poster session benefits for the delegates. It is more of a true to life experience with the ability to browse and interact directly with the authors. It's more immersive because they do have the ability to go from the poster, but also immediately jump to social links and third-party websites. The direct integration of Zoom and other video conferencing softwares, it makes it very easy to make the event much more dynamic and have a lot more two-way feedback between poster creators and attendees. And then there's also the ability for easy access to students and request scheduling out of office. So you may not be able to meet directly with them, but you can always email the poster creator and say, love what you've done, but would love to talk to you at a later time and date. For the poster creators, it's really easy for them to set up and share. Showcase posters, it really requires very little instructions or support, although we do provide all our poster creators with a webinar on how to go through creating a poster. And we find that actually most poster creators are in and out in creating this in less than 15 minutes. They can also be verified with a network badge based on their school email address. They have the ability to directly interact with attendees. The creators can also gauge their traffic by number of views, and all the technical support is provided to the creators. For the school or the program, what's great about this, it's private and secure. So you can really lock down the event to just individuals within your program, or you can also have private links that are password protected, or just live private links that you can share with others. So we have some schools that are using this as a way to run poster sessions across several campuses or across several schools within a district. You also have the flexibility to password protect. It's also school branded, so your students will see a school branded school page. They'll see school branded poster sessions. They'll also have your school logo in their account as well at all times. And it's easy actually to set up new sessions for this. And we can support any number of poster sessions, whether you've got 5, you have 10, to as large as thousands, we have the ability to support. So the simple cost just around this is a simple cost set of $500 for a poster session, which includes up to 50 posters, and it includes setup training and all technical support. And if you need to go above the 50 posters, then they're just $10 for each additional poster. So we've kept pricing very straightforward and very simple. And would like to, we have a link here as well. I'll post it into the chat as well if you'd like to go ahead and play around with a poster sample. But if you're interested in doing your own poster session, feel free to email us to reserve your poster session this fall. But for now, would love to open up the floor to any questions you may have. Okay.
Zane, there's the one question about accessibility components of the platform for people who require screen readers.
Okay, so the way we set up our accounts or the poster sessions, all the navigation, everything is accessible for screen readers. The only part we get in terms of accessibility is because we have individuals uploading their own content, sometimes they don't upload it with descriptions and things like that that makes it accessible for everyone with screen readers. What we do in those cases are schools that have those requirements. What they do is they direct their creators on how to use description areas within each asset that's uploaded to make it accessible for others. So we were able to address it in that way. But when it comes to things like media that's uploaded or other items that's uploaded by individuals, whether or not they've got things like captions, that's something we leave to the direction of the school, to their creators on how to ensure their content is accessible.
Any other questions?
Even if you don't have any questions, any thoughts, feedback you may have, we'd love to hear what you're thinking. If having a poster session is something you're trying to figure out, or if you have a history of doing poster sessions in the physical world that you're trying to bring online. We are seeing increasingly that more of the schools that we partner with around poster sessions are looking at actually continuing this even after the pandemic is over in a hybrid model, so that they can have an online component and also a physical component. Okay, great. And then what I'll do here now, I will go ahead and copy this into the chat so everybody can open up the poster sample. Hopefully this works for everybody. Okay.
Right. Also, Zane, maybe you can just show in the personal account, there was one of the capabilities is for end users to see the number of clicks of their posters, which is actually something that students really love. It's a point of feedback of how many times it's being viewed. So you can see that little eye with a number beside it. That represents the number of times that their poster has been viewed. So it's very simple analytics, but students really love. It's kind of, or one way of engaging or measuring kind of the engagement with their poster. And that's the beauty of virtual events, is that you can create these type of analytical feedback mechanisms. So anyway.
Yep, and to add on to as what David was saying, posters are one great way of going, but your students can also use it, and your faculty can also use it for things like bios, online bios that's really easy for others to see. We see a lot of faculty using it for this reason, and they're actually able to bring groups of faculty together for office hours. It's a great way of showcasing the faculty to prospective students. Or you can have it as just a regular portfolio used in classrooms. So it's a very dynamic use or ability of different use cases for it.
Right.
And
There's actually a question about, can it incorporate a short video so the author can speak about the work? So the answer is yes. What schools are actually asking students is to create a short video that they provide as an ancillary support to the poster, just 4 or 5 minutes, just to explain the background in their own words, the background on the video. So as as attendees go in, they read the poster, but then they watch the video, and then they engage the student with a live chat or into a Zoom call. Is usually kind of the staging. So yes, short video is a very key component, and that's one of the big things that our platform supports very well, is that type of video.
And the other thing, another question is, how does it combine with an LMS, Blackboard or Moodle? So one of the interesting things that we found is we're actually agnostic around LMSs as well. And all of our partners have actually found this to be quite useful, because what it enables us to do is, when you give accounts to either your students or your faculty, you're able to tell them that the account is their own. And we found that that's actually a major engagement point for individuals putting together either posters or digital portfolios, is the concept of ownership, the concept that this is their account to build, and that account isn't going to be deleted or changed, or all the work they've put into it isn't going to be canceled if the school decides to move on to a different LMS or change the directions in that way. So usually how it works in with LMS systems is, in the LMS they'll give students access to links on where they can create accounts, where they can access the poster sessions, but usually that's the way that the two sides are tied off against each other.
Right. In fact, in a number of the universities we're in, they instruct students upon graduation to move all of their documents off of the LMS system, because it will be deleted, and move it into Acadia, so that they have a record of it for life, so that they can repurpose and reshare as in a research environment or in applying for jobs. We actually have a version for faculty, a faculty version for tenure, for a digital dossier for tenure. There's a question here about you can make a narrated infographic.
Yeah, so if you wanted to, you could definitely use that to do it. There's a lot of different ways that you can drive the showcase using media, video, images, documents. It's really up to the creator how they want to do that. Within the account as well, I just want to point out there is a resources area as well that gives them access to all the different things they could possibly want to do, how to add items to their account, how to create an update, if they need help with resume tips or cover letter tips, or even video creation tips, that's all there. We've also got a talent marketing series, which is really beneficial for students and faculty to help them understand how they're marketing their talents and themselves online. So a lot of individuals may not directly see the connection between this and, say, a poster session, but when you really think of a poster session, it really is marketing your work or your research. And this Marketing 101 will help individuals better understand how to target their narrative and the context for their audience, so that they can communicate that more effectively in the digital world. But I think that's about all the time we have for today. I do want to thank everybody for taking some time this afternoon to drop in on this webinar. We hope you found it some insights, some useful information. If you have any ideas or have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us either by email. You can reach us at support@kda.com. Or we'd be happy to stick on the line as well after if anybody wants to stick around and ask us any more direct questions. But again, thank you everyone for your time today, and we wish you the best.
Good afternoon.